The Matas Buzelis era in Chicago just started off with a bang as they have officially beaten the Milwaukee Bucks here in Summer League 96-89. We are going to be talking about what we saw here in Summer League. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and this is another episode of Bulls Digest. Before we go ahead and jump into it, wanted to let you guys know that 78.1% of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest news and happenings around your Chicago Bulls. Without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and chop it up. Just talking some post-game yakety yak after that good Chicago Bulls performance. And the first thing that really comes to mind, as a team, I thought that Chicago did a terrific job in not forcing the action, and I think that they did a great job in knocking down timely shots. There were a lot of clutch baskets, and really I think the clutch baskets went around for everybody. I think DJ Stewart made some. I think that Sunoco made some big baskets there late as well. So, I just think kudos to everybody for taking care of business and really stepping up when they needed to. But let's go into the main focus of today's game, and we wanted to see exactly what Matas Buzelis was going to do. And I must say that I was thoroughly impressed with what Matas Buzelis did. I think that much like last night when I was looking at the Atlanta game and I was looking at Washington, the 1 and 2 pick there, I think that there were some nerves early for Matas Buzelis, and I think that you had to see him kind of loosen up a little bit. But once he started to get into the flow of the game, you started to see a lot of what we saw on tape, a lot of the things that he was able to do in the G League, with the way he was able to handle the ball, the way he was able to get to certain spots on the floor. So I thought that was absolutely on display. His three-point shot, he struggled a bit there, but it's not like, his jumper is broke. It just didn't go down, and I think that that's something that is going to get better as he continues to learn the game. But I thought that his ability to draw fouls were very, very welcoming to see, all right? Because here's a guy that it looks like you can get him the ball and he can draw contact and get to the free throw line, which is telling to me because that is a way to control the basketball game, all right? So when the game kind of gets tight, you have a guy that you can get it to, and he'll get to the free throw line and hopefully make two. I think that the Chicago Bulls struggled in that aspect, but that is really my main takeaway with Matas Buzelis. I think that he did a terrific job getting to the free throw line. He showed that he can handle the basketball. He showed that he can knock down some mid-range jumpers, and he showed that he was a pretty good decision maker as well. I can refer back to, I think it was like a play where he goes down to the box and he's getting ready to shoot a turnaround jumper. He's double teamed, has the presence of mind to throw it over to Sunoco for an easy layup. So definitely keeping his eyes up, just not looking to score. So I definitely thought that he's more of like a point forward for me. I definitely don't think that right now we could go ahead and place him at the 4 or the 5. I think that he would have to pick up a little bit more weight. I thought when he tried to post up, he wasn't able to be effective there. So that kind of was a telltale sign to me that he's probably not ready to play like a 4 or the 5 position. But hey, he's young. He's still growing. He's certainly going to put on a little bit more weight, and he's going to get more crafty there. But right now, I think he's better served being a perimeter-oriented player, playing a little bit more of the 3. And if we are having to play a small ball lineup, then I think that maybe, he can get away with that. But let's go ahead and bring up the box score, guys. And so here's what we're looking at with the box score and looking at what Matas was able to do. Didn't shoot terrific today, but I just told you about the free throw attempts. You see the 7 of 11. I think that he left definitely some money at the line, but 15 points, -2 in the plus minus, that's okay. But I love the fact that he did go out there, get his 7 rebounds. I talked about one of his assists, and the 2 blocks, that was telling for me too, because he did have a chase down block, and that's a lot of what we saw on tape too. So I love that about him. And so I really loved what he was able to show us. And then DJ Stewart, okay, this was a guy that, we talked about him as being possibly a diamond in the rough, and I think that he absolutely was a diamond in the rough. And to me, he reminds me a lot of a Patrick Beverley. I got a lot of a Patrick Beverley feel about DJ Stewart. Because, he's from Chicago. He played at Duke for the 1 year. He left. He had one of his most successful seasons in the G League. I think last year for Boston's affiliate, he had 19 points a game. And I talked about the fact that he could shoot the basketball, but I thought he did an outstanding job defending. I think that he made the Bucks very uncomfortable out there at times, and I think he took them really out of their sets. And there was times where we got on a run, and it was because of the feisty defense from DJ Stewart. So he might be that diamond in the rough thus far. And then another guy that I wanted to definitely take a look at was Garson Brooks. I thought that, this guy coming in at 6'10", played for North Carolina and Mississippi State. I thought that he would have a chance to really do some damage out there. Scored 7, didn't rebound as much, but he gave a lot of minutes over to Sunoco, which I'm getting ready to talk about that, guys, because Sunoco, in my opinion, really changed the course of the game. Guys, this guy came in, he got a double-double, 17 points. He had 12 rebounds, plus 3 in the box score. He had 3 steals, guys, and everything was on display. I think that a lot of people in the comments were saying there's no way Sunoco is going to be in the rotation and things like that. Guys, you have to admit that Sunoco just finds a way. It's not like Sunoco shoots the 3 ball. He doesn't shoot a mid-range jumper. He has terrific hands, so his catch radius is amazing, and he just finds a way to gobble up rebounds and find points for himself. That's what you love about Sunoco, and I'm just saying, for the Bulls fans out there that love Andre Drummond, you're going to love Sunoco. Now, there were times where he did carry the ball, he did have a travel violation, but he is not out there to handle the basketball. I think he did a terrific job in his handoffs, dribble handoffs. I think he did a great job, like I said, creating for himself off of rebounds. And he did a great job bailing out teammates. I just talked about what he did for Matas Buzelis. He got double teamed on a turnaround jump shot in the last second. Matas goes ahead and throws it down for an easy Sunoco layup. So he bailed out a lot of guys out there. And the game, again, changed once Sunoco came into the game. All right. He did not start at center for us. And the one thing that I will throw out there is that the Bucks, they have a lot of length, even on their summer league team. And the fact that Sunoco was able to deal with that, guys, might be a telltale sign of what he can do for our big club, all right, in the NBA. Because, look, that is the question that I had thrown up about Sunoco, and it was, could he be a factor against, the real deal centers out there, like a Joel Embiid and the Joker and all these guys like that? I mean, yes, I know it's summer league, I know it's game 1, but he's dealing with quite a bit of length here. He was only 6'9". Some of these guys had to be at least 7 feet or more, and he's out there willing and dealing with these guys. So I loved it, and his strength was on full display as well. He was pushing a lot of guys out of the way. So Sunoco definitely checked a lot of boxes for me, guys. And then lastly, Julian Phillips. All right, that is a guy that I've been extremely high on. I'd said absolutely not as far as trading this young man, and I think he did a terrific job. For one, he showed us that he is leaps and bounds ahead of where he needs to be as far as, when we last saw him with the injury and everything else. But his athleticism was on full display. I thought he played with a ton of energy. I thought he did a great job in showing the 3-pointer. He knocked one down late, and he should have had another one in the second quarter. But for the most part, it looked pretty good. He went for a lot of dunks. He did dunk one on the fast break, but he was long. He was rangy out there on the defensive end. He was quite the peskin. And when we throw up the box score again, looking at what he did, he had 17 points. He was plus 13 for us in the box score, guys. And he also had 10 rebounds, guys. So that is huge for us. So we wanted to see what he would do. And I think he did a great job as far as, helping the young guys out as far as being in positions and things like that. So very impressed with, really what he was able to do, guys. And so lastly, I always, want to go ahead and take a look at players that we talked about that would be a good fit for the Chicago Bulls. And, we didn't draft him. Obviously, talked about this several times on the channel. We didn't make the deal to trade Caruso and perhaps get an additional pick in this year's draft. And we didn't try to trade back into the draft to get a player. But one of the players that I must say I was impressed in watching in today's game would be Tyler Smith. I think that Tyler Smith showed us that he is who we thought he was, all right, because he's a knockdown jump shooter. He showed me some tenacity as far as rebounding the basketball. And he also showed us that he doesn't have very much lateral quickness, so he would have to work on that. But there's enough upside, I'd say, that if the Chicago Bulls would have traded back in to get him, I don't think I would have blinked an eye because he looked pretty good, I think, in his debut. And another thing that I will say in circling back on Matas Buzelis is that when I said he was nervous, if you notice in the game, when you look at the replay, you're going to see that he was jawing, right, back and forth with a couple Bucks players, which is a good indication that he was starting to feel comfortable, and that swagger was starting to come out as well. So I love that about Matas Buzelis. But, those are my takeaways here in this post-game wrap-up. We will be back with a Game 2 wrap-up. Might be going live for that one. But anyhow, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Were you impressed with what the Chicago Bulls put out there? I know it's Summer League, but are you impressed and fully confident that, yes, Matas Buzelis is a guy that could be an impact player right now? Do you believe a little bit more in Sunoco? Did you like the comparison to a Patrick Beverley with DJ Stewart out there, guys? And one last guy that I want to go ahead and give pub to as well, played for the University of, or LSU, excuse me, but Stewart. I think that he played well too. I mean, I think he knocked down some shots. So I want to go ahead and give him some pub before we get off. But anyway, played for LSU, and he looked pretty good. But anyhow, guys, let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. Know this video's gone too far. But anyhow, Rico Greenhowe, I'll see you guys on the next one. And as usual, go Bulls. Peace, peace, peace.